Welcome to the Global Wellness HQ family of podcasts. We are your international headquarters for resources and ideas and insight in relation to the 9 elements of holistic wellness. Join us as we interview local and international wellness experts and learn how you can implement and improve one element or dimension of wellness at a time. Our experts will share their practical tips on wellness in one of these core areas: emotional, intellectual, occupational, physical, environmental, financial, spiritual, social, or habitual. We created our family of podcasts as a resource for anyone who is looking to integrate the 9 elements of holistic wellness into their daily lives. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm really excited. Today I have my dear friend Robyn Scobey with me. Robyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
I'm Robyn Scobey. I am so passionate about small businesses and assisting the small business owners learn to grow their businesses so that they can be everything they want to be.
Awesome. And now tell me, Robyn, why do you care so much about small business? What's your driving passion?
My biggest reason actually is because I had sold my successful accounting firm that I had owned for 17 years. And I was going to retire, but I decided that that wasn't for me. There was a really big need to watch other businesses grow and develop like I had become accustomed to. I think it's amazing when I can watch other business owners be empowered to have the financial freedom, which also then turns into their time freedom as well.
I love it. Now, we talk a lot about business and the difference between small business and the obviously the global multinational. You focus on the smaller businesses, the small to mid-size. What do you think? Why do you think that group is important to, let's say, we're talking about Alberta, for example. Why is that group important to the Alberta economy?
So many different levels. It actually breaks my heart to see that over 50% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years. That's somebody's savings that they are spending to try and get their business up and running. I want to see that savings double and give them the quality of life that they have dreamed of.
I love it. And I think that's an important thing, when you carry that statistic forward, 5% survive, or sorry, 80% fail in 5 years, 80% fail in 10. We're looking at a 4% success rate over 10 years. That's not a
And some
great
of those
statistic.
ways to succeed are so simple, but the average person doesn't know them. Just because you are making more does not mean your bottom line is going to be higher. You really got to understand the reports your accountants and bookkeepers are giving you.
And I think that's an area where I'm really impressed. You ran a successful business that happened to be bookkeeping and accounting. I think I know you from that point where you looked at a lot of the reports and you ran your business by the numbers. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, what are some of the most important financial statements or management reports that you used with your partner to keep your business on track?
I want to say the top 3 would definitely be my accounts receivables, any money that was coming in. How can I get that faster? Money coming in is really huge. Getting paid in 30 days versus 90 days. What can you do to make that reoccurring revenue? Then you have your profit and loss report. Again, that's showing you all of your income, breaking it down, and all your expenses. Because making a revenue, increasing your bottom line does not mean cutting your expenses. It's finding the right places. And thirdly would be your balance sheet. Because if you don't have anything in the bank account and you have lots of loans, that needs to be dealt with immediately.
I love it. Now, what would you say? Again, I know you and your partner, your partner with your mom here, with Linda. what's some of the best business advice you've personally received, and how did it impact you in your business?
Number one is to be genuine. Who I am. You get who you get. I am who I am. If I'm too much, then we're never going to be a good fit. I don't need to please everybody. I'm not going to please everybody. Looking at who are my top clients. Again, that's going back to being genuine. Who respects me? Who do I respect? Who can I work with? That would probably be my number one. My next would be to really watch the income and the expenses, and allowing me to have free time, allowing me to be that single mom that I am to two amazing teenagers.
I love it. And I think that's an important thing to discuss. We are entire whole human beings. We have families, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs miss the mark, and it's all about working longer and working harder. I'm loving watching you in your journey because as a younger entrepreneur, you've got a young growing family and you prioritize them. What advice would you give to other people, let's say to the young moms, maybe they're the stay-at-home moms or they're just getting back into the workforce? What advice would you give to other women entering business?
Absolutely dream big. If you dream it, you can build it. You just need to figure out your stepping stones to get to where you want.
I love it. Now, you and Linda have recently gone all in. You've created this new company called Empowering Businesses. Why did you decide to focus on cash flow? I know there's always a demand. There's never enough time in the day if you want to do bookkeeping and accounting, but why specifically cash flow? What drove that decision?
Because cash flow is the beginning of all of the business decisions that you need to make. If you don't have the cash flow part of it, you won't have your personal side of it, because you need money to be able to go out with your family. You need money to be able to enjoy your holidays. So if you don't have the cash coming in, you can't enjoy those nice things that have driven you to have your business. And cash flow, there's the management piece. There is so many pieces to this puzzle that it all goes back to knowing your cash flow and staying within your budget.
I love that. And I think a lot of people see budget as a negative word. It's I can't do this. How would you describe the freedom that comes from having a business that's well run and you know exactly what your budget is?
It is phenomenal. When I wasn't having enough personal budget, I was able to move things around and revamp it so I was getting what I wanted. If that meant I had to grow a little bit more, that's what I had to do. So by having a budget and staying within your budget really does help. It helps with your mental health as well.
It's just that freedom to be able to spend some time and do the things. And I think that's one of the things I love about the entrepreneurial journey. If you're an employee and you're hoping to make more money, you either go back to school and you get more skills, or you job shop and you try to find, a higher paying position. Whereas with most entrepreneurs, you can add more clients, you can get to the point where you scale. What advice would you give for somebody who is just looking at, their budget and asking themselves, can I afford to hire a coach or a mentor like you with cash flow?
The question is, can you afford not to? There is so many aspects to that. So if you have money to eat out, then you have money to afford a coach, because the return on investment is huge.
I love that. I think a lot of people look at their coaching and their mentorship as a cost, but the reality is we'll all grow to our own level of confidence, and then at some point we can grow no further. What kind of conversations do you have as a cash flow guide and consultant?
We speak a lot about how it's going to enhance what does each of our clients actually want? Where do they see their freedoms and what do they want from their business? Do they want a steady income? Do they want to grow? Because what's important to me is not always important to our clients.
I love that. And I think that's, having that level of customization, that self-awareness, and being able to customize it. I think that's the problem. Everybody thinks, one dream applies to all, but I think the reality is a good coach is going to help you find the path, the shortest path to your dreams. What would you say to that crazy comment?
You know what? Everybody's different, right? So for me, I needed freedom from the accounting world. And originally I thought that meant that I needed more time so I could go spend it at my son's hockey games or my daughter's dance. And once I started enjoying that, I realized absolutely not. I needed the financial piece to it. So having to go back and revamp my personal budget to allow for my corporate budget and revamp my cash flow. And within 6 months, I was able to have the lifestyle that I wanted.
I love it. And I think that's an important thing. A lot of people just drift along and hope for the best. The most successful among us, they have a plan, they work that plan, and they have that acuity to change the plan as things go. What are some quick wins people listening to this today can have in terms of improving cash flow? What are your top three or your favorite three or three random ones on how a business can improve cash flow?
Watching your accounts receivable would definitely be a number one tip, and getting your money in faster. Just because your customer is your customer, the customer is not always right. Go ahead. It's okay. To see the value in yourself and what you are supplying to your customer. If that is your work or a widget, that's still very valuable. And to see the value. Entrepreneurs are amazing. They are definitely a different type of breed. Thirdly, look after yourself. Look after your physical and your mental state.
I love that. And for my regular listeners, I think that's one of the common themes is if you take care of the financial, it gives you the time to be able to pursue the other areas. And to focus on wellness. So now, Robyn, you're the expert at you. Is there something I should have asked you that I haven't already?
I don't think so, but I do believe that networking and genuine networking, not just going for luncheons. Get out there and be yourself.
Love that. Well, Robyn, how can people get in touch with you? How can they get to know you better and maybe even decide to work with you in your cash flow program you're working on?
There's a couple of ways. I'm on LinkedIn. You'll find me there, as well as we do have a website. It's called empoweringbusinesses.ca.
I love it. Well, Robyn, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. And for those who don't know, Robyn and I are actually really good friends. So it's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to have you on the show. So thank you, Robyn.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our show. We hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we invite you to either click the link below or scan the QR code to register and listen to other episodes of our podcast. Or if you think your business or you would be a great guest to be on our show, we're always looking for experts in one of the 9 elements of holistic wellness. We'd love to have you. You can either click the link below or you can scan the QR code and complete our speaker intake form. Thank you, and to your wellness.